Yo, what is up, everybody? Back again. Y'all already know what
Nail,
it is.
play that shit.
Oh yeah!
Oh man, this man got the background.
You already know, man. Easy money, easy money. Well, it should be easy money, but like
Look,
I
knock
said,
on wood, knock on wood.
Look at the rookies we drafted. We got Dean and we got Davis. Two from Florida. It doesn't get better than that shit.
yeah, put that shit up.
As Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first,
You're
you're
last.
last.
Exactly.
Second place is at 2.
Definitely gonna make up for it.
Trust me. I need a sports podcast, man. I need it.
I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. That's Caleb Bullock. That's our rookie safety.
I'm dead. As you see, this is our Texans fan right here. If y'all didn't know, if y'all new to the pod,
Man, look, they was trying to say his weakness was tackling. He just came up and I like to see that. See that? I like to see that, man. I like to see that.
oh, dead.
Man.
You good? Oh, you good. But yeah, man. So AFC South last year obviously came down to the wire. Texans, I think they were predicted to finish second to last in the league after the draft last year. Rated the draft class bad, says CJ Stroud would be a bust. My dog Kim Sanders came on the first episode for the season, told y'all take Texas to win the AFC South. I think it was like plus 750. I laughed at him. I'm sure some of y'all watching laughed at him. A boy cashed out. Texans surprised the league. So now this year, ain't no more surprises. The league know who y'all are. So things changed. And it's going to be funny because, last year, of course, coming up, everybody loves CJ. Like, oh my God, we didn't expect this. He's amazing. He's all this. He's all that. Now y'all get to experience that toxic social media hate. Anything bad he does, oh, CJ suck. Y'all overhyping dude. So I hope you prepared for it, Cam. That's how it go. It's coming for you. But, I think CJ going to be a dog for years to come in this league. I like the offseason moves y'all made. So give us your insight into what you expect from your Texans a little bit this year.
What I expect, see, everybody got these high expectations for us. And mine is high, but it's not crazy high. And I kind of want everybody to kind of lower it down a little bit.
Nah, bro, y'all here.
Bro, everybody's trying to say, oh, it's Super Bowl or bust. It's not Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, it's not that. That's crazy.
It's not. Yeah, it's crazy to even I guess you can say it, but it's us Texans fans, we don't feel like that at all. First of all, we need to get to our first AFC Championship game. Period. We haven't even been to. So that's my expectation. My expectation, I want us we need to go to the AFC Championship game, and whatever happens after that. So that's my expectations. But look, man, I'm just here for the ride. I will say, man, it's gonna be a very tough season because we got a very tough schedule. Got a gauntlet of schedule. Definitely towards the end, they just got. We got the Ravens and then the Chiefs back to back in less than 5 days or something like that.
Yeah, the way they did the schedule this year kind of jacked up, dog. There's no way you can be an advocate for player safety, and you got teams literally playing 2 games 4 or 5 days apart. That don't add up, bro. That's not in any way, shape, or form safe for these players. They don't even get a chance to rest for real. You gonna have dudes ACLs falling off the bone like a turkey leg or something on that back to back. So that's a little crazy, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I want to say CJ is the second in MVP odds this year coming in right now at plus 600. So obviously, you got Stephon Diggs in free agency, or I guess trade. You got Nico Collins. You got Mechie, who's healthy again, and you got, I don't know why I'm blanking on dude name from UH right now. The slot. Yeah, you got him back healthy off of his broken leg. So Dalton Schultz still. You got Joe Mixon in free agency. I got weapons galore. And, obviously with the hype coming in with CJ from last year because what he did, now everybody's like, okay, it's go time. Like he's the next one that can potentially take the throne for like Patrick Mahomes in the AFC, and they got the talent to do it. Can he do it? I'm kind of in the same boat as you, where it's like, okay, like let these dudes grow. Like this is second year. Y'all talking about Super Bowl or bust. Like, yeah, it's best to try to get this Super Bowl within the window of the rookie contract for quarterbacks before you got to pay him. And eventually, whenever CJ contract does come due, he will be the highest paid quarterback in the league at that time. Obviously, as long as we keep seeing what we've seen already. And it's like, man, let's ease on the brakes a little bit. Like the AFC is still loaded. Yes, he's good. Yes, he had a great playoff game in the wild card versus Cleveland, but then last year he faced Baltimore again for the second time, and they shut him down. So he's obviously got room to grow. Let him grow. Don't throw all these expectations on him. But that's kind of like the right now world we live in, especially with sports, social media. Like it's like, oh, if you don't win the championship, you're terrible. You're garbage. And it's like, no, there can only be one champion. Right now in the NFL, there's only been one champion for real, Patrick Mahomes. Everybody else fighting for second. So it's like the argument for who's the best second is just like it's kind of stupid as of right now. But potentially, Texas might come to take the throne. I think I think all the like top dogs in the AFC, like Cincinnati, Buffalo, Baltimore, not so much Baltimore, but I think Buffalo and Cincinnati, I think they took steps back in the offseason. They lost key players. They got some locker room turmoil. Like you would think Jamar Chase would have been the highest paid wide receiver, second highest paid behind Jefferson right now, looking like he's not going to get his contract. Obviously, we had the whole T. Higgins saga. He's not getting a contract. He's gone after this year. You got the Bills who have to basically unload their whole roster and kind of go into like a semi-quasi rebuild. The Ravens, while they still have a lot of talent, they lost a lot on the defense side of the ball, which was the number one defense last year. Then they lost their defensive coordinator as well. That's a lot of turnover. We see how much coordinators matter. I'm not even dogging on you, Ken, but like we see that with the Eagles last year. Like coordinators are probably really important. It was a completely different offense from what they had with Steichen versus Brian. So like it is what it is. And the Texans, they young, they hungry, they don't know, too much. They just playing with kind of house money right now. So I can see them making a little run. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. But last year, obviously, y'all win the division. Last game of the season versus Indy, 10-7. This year, what makes you think y'all can like repeat, or like what additions did y'all make? That you think could take you to that next level and potentially get to like the AFC Championship game. Because y'all had a lot of big offseason moves. I'm not gonna lie, y'all signed a lot of key pieces and big names.
Yeah, for sure. So I would say the not two, because it was just so many pieces that we just kind of got in, just kind of like made me seem like, okay, so first of all, I think the offense, it's going to be very hard for defenses to kind of like stop the offense because we have like so many receiver threats, and not even like just receiver threats. Like we got Joe Mixon also that can, run the ball. So this is going to be so hard for defenses to stop our offense, I feel like, because most defenses don't really have more than like two really great corners. So, I mean, if you take Nico out the game, you take Diggs out the game, I mean, you still got Schultz, you still got Tank Dell, you still got John Mechie, Noah Brown. So you still got, those guys that CJ can throw the ball around to, whatever. And then, obviously, Joe Mixon, he's going to be running the ball. But what I kind of really liked, though, was the additions on defense.
Big additions on defense.
Yeah, so I feel like we just upgraded all over defense pretty much. Jonathan Grenard, we let Jonathan Grenard walk to the Vikings. We went and picked up like a blue chip pass rusher and Daniil Hunter, who still got some, he still got some left.
He still got some juice left for sure.
Yes, for sure. So, still got him, got him, whatever. And then we let what's it called? what's his name, Blake Cashman. We let him walk. I think he went to the Vikings also. Let him walk, and we picked up Aziz Shair or whatever. That's one of the guys who I wanted. I either wanted him or P Queen. And hey, we got Aziz, and he already in the system with he already knows the system with D'Amico, whatever. He played with them with the 49ers. So, and from what I heard from Kemps, he's playing outstanding. He's pretty much like the CJ Stroud of the on the defensive side or whatever. So that was because I told y'all that we needed like a linebacker who's going to be like vocal and like who's going to be like the leader, because we didn't have that last year. And he's going to be the guy. So got those two additions, and then we added a rookie corner by the name of Kamari Lassiter. Now, what if I heard from training camp and like I know it's just training camp and it is OTAs and
oh come on, bro, it's the time to be hyped.
Man, what I heard from the media, what I heard from teammates of his and stuff like that, it seems like it's the same exact hype that I've heard from last year with when it was like with CJ and how everybody just praised him. And it's just crazy. Like it just sounds like he's gonna be a dog. It just sounds like he's gonna be like really, really good. So I can't wait to see his first snap or whatever, how he plays out to be. Obviously other side of him we got Derek Stingley. So him and Sting, that should be a good 1-2. And then also like I said, Kalen Bullock, he probably gonna be hopefully he gonna be like one of the starting safeties. I think we're gonna move Jalen Petrie to the nickel. That's where he kind of plays best at the nickel spot. So yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Like I said, we got a tough schedule. But hey, man, the Bills gonna play us too. We ain't no push around no more. Like they gotta come play us too. We a tough matchup for anybody, I feel like. So it should be a very fun season, man.
Yeah, as long as y'all stay healthy, because also y'all got y'all stole a division rival top pass rusher, Tennessee Titans.
Oh, Danico
Autry.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Sack leader last year for the Titans, now with the Texans. You add him with Daniil Hunter, Willie Anderson, who had rookie defensive of the year.
Yep.
That's three guys you don't even have to necessarily blitz. One of them can get to the quarterback at any time, so it can be real scary, especially with D'Amico scheming things up as a defensive-minded head coach. So, yeah, the sky's the limit. I think one of the big things, too, for y'all was, like, I got to keep y'all's OC.
Yeah.
I know he was up for a lot of head coaching positions, but after interviews, he ended up coming back to the Texans, so that's going to be big for CJ. A lot of times you see these defensive head coaches, they'll lose the offensive coordinator, and then the team will kind of regress the next year. But y'all keep that. Y'all kind of get to keep that, like, continuity with CJ and the play call and all that. So I think it's going to be huge. And you say you do got a tough schedule, but I think y'all be able to handle it. Y'all got some dogs. And it's just going to be like, because at any given Sunday, you'll have your mistakes. You'll have your bad Sundays. It's going to be like now where the media was cheering y'all on as the underdogs last year. Now everybody expects y'all to be great. And now it's like when you mess up, and then the media turns on you like that. It's a very toxic world right now.
Everything I feel about as being an Eagles fan.
Cam can speak on that. Not Cam Davis. Don't be no Bulls on parade over here. Talk about your boys, man. We're gonna touch on them in later episodes coming in the next couple weeks, but they seem all in, all right. I don't know what you're hearing. But yeah, so how you feeling about the Texans this year with all the hype coming
in? Hold on. I think you're gonna compete. I'll be a hater, bro. I'm trying to finish my food. I'll be a hater, but I give CJ his props, bro. I give him his props. I ain't like how you said Jalen Hurts and everything like that, bro. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you make it, bro. But nah, I got y'all repeating. If I had to put it in order, excuse me, with everything, I have to say Texans, Colts, Then I put I'm not gonna lie. Call me crazy. I'm gonna put the Titans above the Jaguars. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
I got Jaguars last in the division.
You muted, Bryce.
I can't hear you. You said you have to set muted.
Yeah.
Bro, that's like it's muting it. Like I'm not doing that. That's the mic.
No.
So
But yeah, I got Jaguars last. I'm not gonna lie. Like, of course, I got to take some repeating. Like, I think the biggest piece I like what y'all added was the Neil Hunter. Like, that addressed a lot in that pass rush. I think that's what y'all really needed the most. Especially stopping the run and everything. Danielle Hunter, he's known for that. Especially he's got a lot of juice left. I think he got, in my opinion, I feel like Danielle Hunter got at least 3 or 4 years left in him, maybe even more than that to keep his body intact. And y'all signing him to that 2-year deal is probably really smart because once that deal ends, y'all can go ahead and pay CJ, Will Anderson, stuff like that. So I got Texas repeating. I got y'all more than 10 wins. Honestly, I got y'all in the 12 range, in my opinion. I got Jaguars finishing last. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got them finishing last. Like I don't see it happen. Like
let's talk about Jacksonville too, because they were like 8-3, I think, at one point last season, and then Trevor Lawrence started kind of getting banged up. He's playing decent. Like he still hasn't turned into like what we thought he would be as a prospect coming in, but like he was playing decent. I'll give him that. And then once he got banged up, the Jaguars just completely fell off, and they dropped completely out of the playoff race and lost their hold on the 1 seed, lost their hold on a wild card spot, and completely missed the playoffs last year. And
I think the thing with him though is with Trevor Lawrence is I can sound like a hater. I don't know about all that money you give him. Like that's pretty steep,
money.
And then if you look at their offense, Travis Etienne is literally, like I said in the last video we did, Travis Etienne is literally one of my favorite running backs. That's why I got him like ranked, in the top 10. He's one of my favorite dual running backs. He can catch, he can run, but in that offense, I mean, they don't have like a big number one receiver like compared to like Houston got that. Houston, in my opinion, I got 2 number ones because Nico can play number one. Tank showed it before he got hurt. Stephon, obviously, we know about him. All our teams have a true number one, or even like another number 2 could be number one. That makes sense. With Jacksonville, their number one basically is Calvin Ridley. I mean, not Calvin Ridley. Christian Kirk, and I mean, I like Christian. He did his thing in Arizona before he left. He deserved the bag and stuff, but he's not no true number one. And so if you got to rely on him to get you in clutch moments, you're not gonna go nowhere. Versus every team in that division has a true number one. The Titans got D-Hop, even though D-Hop a little older, he still can, produce every now and then.
Yeah.
The Colts.
I don't know if y'all see. Yeah, I got the notification like as work was ending. I was like, "What the hell happened?" Because he got hurt today, and so did Herbert. Apparently,
yeah, Herbert got hurt. Yeah,
but they said Herbert should be good for the start of the season. But they said Hopkins out for like
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks. That's tough. It helped though that they did get Calvin Ridley. I mean, that should help.
Yeah, and then I think they also got Tyler Boyd security blanket too.
They did with Sissy's OC as the head coach. So I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know we were just talking about Jacksonville, but Tennessee kind of like went all in on the offseason.
Yes.
That's why I got them.
And it's like as long as Will Levis can improve, because last year I think he was last in like completion percentage for starting quarterbacks. But if he can make some improvements, they got a solid roster.
They really do. They
got
really
my dog L'Jarius Sneed. Like,
I think
see him go, but glad to see him get the bag. Like,
I think Will Levis was just in a tough situation. That's why, again, thrown like the whole Ryan Tannehill situation, him being benched and everything, not want to play. I think he just got thrown in a tough situation. Them already putting, the head coach in the hot seat and all that stuff. I think he was just in a very, very tough situation. So it's like it was hard for him to really produce, in a situation. But I agree. Their defensive line is really nasty. That's what I'm saying. Like, I got the Titans above the Jaguars. Like, in my opinion, I feel like the Jaguars are definitely gonna be last in the division. But like I was saying earlier, every single team in that division, besides Jacksonville, have a true number one. The Colts got Michael Pittman. Y'all got Stephon. They have D-Hop whenever he come back from injury. They all have that alpha, receiver.
Yeah.
With Jacksonville, they don't have that. I mean, their leading receiver is not even a receiver. That's Evan Ingram. So, Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, no, it's like you said, they did just pay Trevor Lawrence. What was it 275 for I think 4 year extension or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah. Snead in Tennessee hurts my heart too, but I'm glad he got his money. He deserved it. We're gonna be all right. We got McDuffie, and we got some dudes that's gonna step up, and we'll talk about them, on a later episode. But yeah, man, it's like Tennessee was like so close for some years. Then these last couple years have kind of fallen off. So they got rid of Mike Vrabel. I mean, I think he's a pretty good coach. He didn't get over the hump, but like he got him to AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill. Finally moved off of Ryan Tannehill. Danico Autry, like we said, went to the Texans. And then they did pull in Calvin Ridley. They did get L'Jarius Sneed. They did sign Tony Pollard, even though his running back one experiment with Dallas last year didn't necessarily go like great, but he was, a decent running back one. I think Tennessee. I don't know if Ashton's on the pod, but I'm sure he'll see this.
They gonna make some noise.
They gonna make some noise as long as Will Levis can take care of the ball
Ooh.
and not be kind of like a daredevil when he takes out or takes off outside of the pocket, because he had a problem with that a little bit last year too. But yeah, Tennessee can be nice, but I wouldn't count Jacksonville all the way out solely because I just believe in Doug Peterson as a really good coach. He's from the Andy Reid tree, and Eric is tuned in. Shout out to our guy Eric Etoff21 Sports. Go give him a follow if y'all don't already.
yeah.
Got
Spears,
great contact over there. They do got Tajay Spears still, so they should have a nice little 1-2 punch, and maybe that helps Pollard going back to maybe like the two back, like how he was when he was backing up Zeke, when he can come in, kind of be that third down back. But yeah, Tennessee they kind of got a nice little squad together.
They got a nice, yes.
They got a first-year head coach, Brian Callahan. He was the offensive coordinator for Cincy. Now, how good of an offensive coordinator was he? We'll see, because he did have Burrow, Chase, Higgins, what's his name, the running back. So like Joe Mixon. So we don't know. We're gonna see. But they got talent galore over there. You still got Alec Burks too. He's going into his third year now. Usually sometimes it takes guys till that third year to finally get like an NFL system and like really get in tune with the game and get comfortable. So we could see maybe a low-key breakout year from him too. And then they did lose some of their back end help and on defense in the safety position. Bayard went to Chicago. Like I said, then they get L'Jarius Sneed, lockdown cornerback one. So I think they're gonna be really competitive. Will they win the games? That's yet to be seen, and I don't know the answer to that question right now. But I think they'll be highly competitive. I think they'll be highly competitive in a bunch of close games. And if it's close, anything can happen. It's a coin flip at that point.
And I'm glad Eric said something about Evan Ingram having a huge season of fantasy, because if I look in a division, if I had to, like, obviously we already know like about Stephon and everybody else, but if I have named like 5 players like off the top of my head who gonna have like a breakout season fantasy wise, it'll be Evan Ingram, it'll be Tajay Spears. I have to give it to Christian Kirk again. He's gonna do his thing.
Yeah, that's Trevor Lawrence guy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say Anthony Richardson. As long as he stay healthy. As long as he stay
healthy. See, I was waiting to bring them up last, and that's where like I think the Texans should be able to repeat the division championship.
Yeah,
and they deserve the hype they're getting. Obviously, had a really good last year out of nowhere. CJ, I think, is a baller, despite what they said of him coming out the draft. But Indianapolis was right there with Gardner Minshew. We do not know what Anthony Richardson is, but we have an idea of what he could be. And it's a wild card right now. But what he could potentially be with his like athletic gifts, it could be really scary if Steichen is able to tap into that with his offensive genius. Like you've seen he had them rolling last year. Anthony Richardson, if he just learns to like slide a little bit when he does take off, it could be potentially scary. So like, Cam, how much does Indy like give you a like not scary, but like how much do you worry about Indy coming into the year? Because they're still a very solid team. They return a lot of people. They signed Michael Pittman back, wide receiver 1. Caleb Downs was a pretty good rookie wide receiver last year. Obviously got Jonathan Taylor, who was on our top 10 running back list, arguably top 3 back in the league when he's fully healthy. Quentin Nelson anchoring the line. Defense is solid. Like, the Colts could potentially be right there too.
Yeah, like they just didn't like. Okay, like they'll be there. Like they'll play us hard. They'll probably be like second in the division, maybe fighting for first. But yeah, we not. Me personally, that's how I feel. Like we're not worried about pretty much anyone in the division. I feel like our like what we look into is like others, like like we're hunting like the Chiefs, we're hunting the Ravens, the Bengals, we're hunting teams like that. Like we're not worried about the division. I feel like we have the division locked up. Colts, they just didn't really add enough pieces, in my opinion. Like they kind of like was very conservative this offseason, like pretty much kept like there's same core guys, which is fine because like you said, they I forgot we got Cam Akers. Forgot about that. That's another nice addition.
I didn't even realize y'all signed him, but yeah, I seen he just scored too.
But obviously they added AD Mitchell. He's gonna be a nice piece. Whatever.
Oh, I totally forgot AD that because I low key wanted him for us to take him. We got Worthy. I'm not mad at it, but I was a big AD Mitchell fan coming into the draft with just like his 6'4" frame.
Yes.
Go up and get it. I was like, that's one thing we never have. So
I was kind of upset.
That's gonna hurt your heart watching him catch against your Texans.
That's definitely for sure gonna hurt. But I feel like they just didn't like add enough pieces or add any pieces really that kind of like push them to where they're like on our level, or that's going to be like over that take that next step, whatever. And that goes for pretty much anybody in the division. I feel like even like the Jaguars was kind of like conservative with their spending also, but even though they went out and go get Gabe Davis, gave him a crazy deal. I don't know how he got that deal.
They did pick up Gabe Davis.
I don't know what the Jags got going. I don't know what the Jags got going on, but but other than like the Titans, I feel like the Titans is going to like really surprise a lot. I think the Titans going to be second in the division. Me personally, I think the Titans going to surprise a lot of people.
Eric posed a good question. I was actually going to ask you this too, man. Obviously, Stephon Diggs, we know, we've seen this time with Minnesota, how it ended. We've seen his time with Buffalo started off really great, and now we see how that ended. Do you have any worry about him coming into the locker room and disrupting any type of chemistry? Because me and you talked about kind of over the past week in the DMs a little bit with some of the training camp clips. Nico Collins is still very much wide receiver 1. That's not saying he's necessarily better than Stephon Diggs. Obviously, we know Stephon Diggs is a top 10 talent, and it has been for the past 3-4 years in this league. But the connection Nico has with CJ, like it's pretty tough. And Nico did his thing. He got paid this offseason. He's still looking good in camp. Do you think there could be a potential problem like down the line? It's like maybe a close game. You're playing a team like the Ravens or Chiefs. CJ might not have looked Stephon's way, a couple drives in a row. Now Stephon is upset. Do you see him like lashing out on the sidelines like we've seen in Minnesota and Buffalo with Stephon Diggs?
Me personally, I don't think it's going to be a problem. We might see like a instance like that where he might be frustrated, but it won't be like frustration towards CJ necessarily. I feel like I will say this from what reports been saying in training camp, from what the news media have been saying, like the guy, like people that's actually been there, they said Stephon Diggs, he's going to get a lot of passes his way. He's going to score a lot. So that should keep him happy. He's only here for a year. So I feel like he won't lash out as much because
he's trying to get a contract.
He has, yes. And so, and that's where I got to give credit to where it's due for our GM. He kind of pretty much rearranged his contract to where he kind of bought out his last. I think it was like 2 years he had. He bought his last two, so he got this last year. So we have to get the best Stephon Diggs. Like he has to like he can't lash out anymore.
He got no choice. He got to act right this year.
He has no choice. It's so smart because he's only gonna be here for a year. I feel like, and so you got the young guys. I really want him to take John Mechie under his wing because Stephon Diggs is gonna be playing the slot and Tank Dell gonna be on the outside. But once Stephon Diggs leaves, it's gonna be John Mechie is gonna get that slot position. So I hope he takes John Mechie on his wing. I mean, we already seen clips of it after practice. Him and John Mechie on doing routes together or like teaching him how to come off of what's the cause whatever. But I can't see him lashing out like he did with the Bills. I feel like with the Bills, I don't think it was necessarily a Josh Allen thing. I think it was a McDermott thing.
Yeah, I think it was a McDermott thing too. And I think the Bills were very silly to keep McDermott after this year. Like, if they were gonna go rebuild, I think they should have went and got an offensive minded head coach for Josh Allen because I just don't see them having success. Because I'm kind of watching, like I got it playing right here, but I'm seeing it through your screen too, Cam. Seeing the Bears just scored. I'm not sure who, but it is now with the extra point. It's 17-14.
Ooh, down
with 46 seconds left to say. What I haven't seen actually, because I haven't just been paying attention. How's this new kickoff looking? Like I know they implemented the new kickoff rules where everybody got to start like basically face up. Was it the 20-yard line or something?
It's
like
different.
You have to kick it into the play because if you kick a touchback, they get to start at like the 35 or something crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's different. It just looks weird. Like it doesn't look like NFL football.
It don't look like
I don't know. It did as look like XFL. Like we're watching like XFL or CFL or some shit. But it's kind of different. It's funny too.
It's another question. That say I'm curious to see if Diggs will connect with CJ better. And honestly, I think like even though his yards gonna go down a little bit because you have 3 other receivers with Houston, I feel like he'll connect, in my opinion, a lot better. And I say that because like the thing with Josh Allen has literally the top 3, top 2 arm in the league. Him and Herbert, Mahomes, all them, they got the best arms. But accuracy wise, CJ is literally top 3 accuracy wise. And so like that's not taking away from Allen, but in my opinion, even if it's just a rookie year, that still said a lot. Seeing how accurate CJ was with the ball compared to Allen, we already know about his turnover fest and everything. CJ is literally a top 3 accurate QB, and I know that's a lot to say after his first year, but he knows where to throw the ball to. Because before he even came onto the Houston scene, the QBs that Nico and everybody else played with, they wasn't even able to eclipse 1,000 yards. Bringing CJ into the mix and stuff, he already putting up Pro Bowl numbers for a receiver that's not even a Pro Bowl. So I feel like CJ for sure can connect better with Diggs. I think the only thing they take away is like it's gonna be less receptions out there, but I feel like that will help Diggs stay healthy because I don't know if y'all remember like even times where he was with in Buffalo, and sometimes he'll be banged up behind like the sideline stuff because he's trying to catch so much because that offense was like lacking. It was only him and Davis, and Gabe Davis like a once every blue moon receiver. Like he had that 200-yard game in the playoffs. Everybody said, "Oh yeah, he's up next." And blah,
he
blah.
had 4 touchdowns versus us in that division.
And he didn't understand, and so
he was gonna be the biggest wide receiver too. That's why they was gonna help. He was gonna help.
Yeah, and he solely got paid with Jacksonville because of that game. Like I'm a firm believer that Gabe Davis literally got paid by Jacksonville because of what they saw in that game. And I feel like he can do it again. I'm telling you, and so. I feel like he'll connect way better with CJ, like for sure.
Yeah. I just watched that kickoff. Yeah, that does look weird.
It just look weird. I guess you gotta get used to it.
I'm gonna have to get used to it. Yeah, and then like they highlighted like the landing zone where the ball gotta land to be in play. It's like, yeah, no, that's weird. But Yeah, I think Stephon will be on his best behavior. I think it'll help the fact that Nico is kind of like the wide receiver one. You could call him, I guess, 1B in comparison to Stephon, but like
Yeah.
Stroud, I think will still look his way a lot. So like if they do try to focus attention on Diggs, you got Nico Collins who's gonna eat. You got Tank Dell who's gonna eat. You got Schultz at tight end who's gonna eat. So it's not like you can focus on one person with this offense now for the Texans. I think CJ's gonna just feast and have he's gonna have another great year. And I mean, like, there's a reason he's second in MVP odds. He should put up pretty good numbers this year. I'm expecting. I feel like he's gonna go for at least if he stays healthy, I'm thinking around like 4,800 yards passing at least probably 35 plus touchdown passes, if not more. So he could very well be in the thick of that MVP discussion because he's up and coming. I feel like Patrick Mahomes, I feel like even though he's an MVP favorite, I feel like he's gonna have to do something like damn near record breaking for people to really vote him again. I feel like they're just kind of gonna start treating him like LeBron, where it's like, yeah, you can make the argument he's probably MVP every year, but we're not going to give it to him every year type shit. So
Yeah.
I think CJ is rightfully second with the weapons they got. I expect a big year from him. But like Cam said, and then Eric also made another great point. Brian Callahan also went and hired his dad, Bill Callahan, who's been the offensive line coach for the Browns behind that running scheme. I think that's going to benefit Will Levis a lot because maybe they try to run the ball a little bit more, kind of run play action, make the game simpler and easy for him as a young quarterback. And then you got Hopkins. Hopefully he gets back healthy. Burks, Ridley, they should be decent. Decent. They got Okonkwo at tight end, so they got some talent on Tennessee. The big question mark is just literally like how well is Will Levis gonna play? Like, is he ready to really take that quarterback one mantle? Because he was forced into the position last year with Tannehill and his injuries, and then he had a few bright spots, but he was relatively bad for the most part. And then like Jacksonville, like I said, I'm not gonna count them out because Doug Peterson, but I don't think Trevor Lawrence was worth that 275 million they just paid him, and I think they just handicapped their team for years to come. I mean, I guess that's kind of the thing. That's like next guy up, and I kind of want to segue into that, like because all the quarterbacks that got their contracts now.